Looks like we got like 4 more people to talk to. Dogi. Oh, and apparently this. Okay, everybody, here we go. Snacks, walks, shiny. Oh yeah. I don't care about this. Good for you. Talk to Dogi last. He's Dogi. Adol, I didn't realize you were back from Balta Island already. You'll be taking the next boat off the island today, right? Came to say goodbye. Really? Well, thanks for making the time. I was just thinking of putting on a soup kitchen and handing out food to everybody. If Rollo's funeral is over now, then Philly and the others will be coming to help with the reconstruction soon. And Mom and Dad will... Huh? Before she realized it was happening, large tears began to roll down Rose's cheeks. Huh? Darn it, I told myself I was going to see you off with a smile no matter what. The fact that my family is safe, that I was able to make up with my sister, it's all because of you and Karja. That's why I don't want to let you go. I'll come back to Karnak someday. Really? Promise? You've got to stay at our inn again when you do, okay? We're going to rebuild it even better than it was before. I'm going to keep practicing so I can make tons and tons of delicious food for you. Now I'm extra excited to return. You'd better, or else it'll have all been for nothing. Anyway, it's hard to say goodbye, but I don't want to hold you up. Take care of yourself, Adol. I'll never, ever forget you. It would be cool. I don't know if Wise 10, like, sold well or not, but if they wanted to just follow up on Wise 10, how cool would it be if they did, like, Wise 11? It was, like, a sequel to Wise 10, but it was set after, like... Because I know this game is set, like, in between, like, the second and third game, like, timeline-wise, right? So, like, what if they, like, jumped ahead past all the other games, like, 7 years in the future or whatever, and then, like, did a sequel to this one? That'd be something cool to do. Maybe not for Wise 11 specifically, but a Wise game in the future. So you're really leaving, then? Sorry. Planned on staying a bit to help out with reconstruction at first, but I figured if I was hitting the road either way, better do it sooner rather than later. Plus, it'll be easy on you and your idiot if It'd be easier on you if your idiot of a son got out of your hair already. Don't be stupid. I'll obviously be lonely here without you. Still, don't let me hold you back, not after you've finally gotten your freedom. Just promise me you'll return someday, no matter what anyone says. This is your home. Yeah, I hear you. Just about to set out, right, Adol? I'm thinking about leaving today myself. Don't tell me it's rejoining those mercenaries. Sorry to burst your bubble, but yeah, they sent word asking me to come back. Seems the war along the border isn't going too hot right now. In fact, I'm even getting called on means that I'm needed. And now that Abelia Gulf's at peace again, I don't have any hang-ups about leaving. Hope we meet again. Yeah, maybe fate will cross our paths together again somewhere. In the end, I'd say my time on the Sandras turned out to be pretty fulfilling. Guess I owe you guys some thanks for that. Take care of yourself, Adol. All the best. All right, later, loser. I want to get to the credits to talk about stuff, but I really, like, as I already said, I do not care about any of these side characters. I think they were all very boring and just, like, who cares? Is that Ashley? With, like, your hat off, showing that you're a girl, presumably? Or you just have long hair, one or the other? Hey, if it isn't Adol, today's the day you set out, right? It's gonna be lonely around here without you, man. Sorry I can't help with the reconstruction. I'm definitely not gonna miss you. Come on, what's there to apologize about? You've already done more than enough for all of us. Why are you holding your hands in this pose? By the way, Leela told me something interesting. Remember how Rosa was able to recreate Karnak when she was a Griegr? Well, that might have been thanks to a tiny scrap of power from the Sea King's throne still lingering in the Marine Triangle. Sure. Same logic applies to me being able to use mana on Viewpoint Isle. Guess we were both drawing on that thing Rollo mentioned. You know, humanity's ability to forge the world around him. Just as I suspected. Wait, really? You already put it together? Rollo literally told me. Oh man, I was really hoping to surprise you with that one. Anyhow, the important thing is to keep your mind on whatever it is you want. That's the real power of humanity, according to Rollo. So as long as everyone wants it hard enough, this town will be put back together in no time. Sure it will. Well, you don't have to sound so patronizing about it. Nah, whatever, just gotta keep trying and believing. But seriously, come on back to Karnak someday, okay, Adol? Believe me, by the time you do, it's gonna be bigger and better than ever. We can even goof off over at the hideout again. Maybe if I feel like it. At least spare my feelings with an empty promise or something. Man, though, guess this will be our last time chewing the fat, huh? Take care of yourself out there, okay? Eat your veggies and brush your teeth. Shut up, Gren. Hey, yo, Dogi! Yo, Dogi, you want to talk about how they completely wasted you in this game? You were, like, kind of cool in Wise 7, and then in this game, you were cool at the start when you, like, smashed the wall like you were a Griegr and then turned human, but then you were just, like an NPC. Like, I mean, literally an NPC, but, like, you were barely even relevant throughout this entire game. It's so disappointing. Hey, Adol, guessing the funeral's all over now? I've been helping with the reconstruction work, just as a little parting gift before we leave. Strange, ain't it? We really only spent a few days in this little town, and yet at this point, it practically feels like home. No. I guess I feel the same way, except not really. You too, huh? Really is great journeying around like this. That should just about do it for goodbyes. All that's left is to head back to the docks when ready. All right, that was a really quick talk with Dogi. Let's get out of here. Give me those dang gold credits. We're going to end up right at about 4 hours. Perfect. We did end up finishing the game today before the Donkey Kong game came out. That is ideal. And then I got like 2 streams of KH left, I think.
That's that then. The torch is yours from here on out.
Sure thing. Consider it a promise.
We should get going soon.
You finished up already?
Hard to believe this could be our last trip on the Sandras, huh?
She's been with us through thick and thin. Rather a shame we have to part ways.
You said it. Having her see us off like this doesn't make it any easier either.
Well, no time like the present. Let's hoist the sails and put to sea.
Away we go.
Fare thee well, Karnak.
I'd very much like to return in the future, after they've fully rebuilt.
Hey, Adol. About where I'm dropping you off. Kaznan's inland from the Celcetan coast, so there's no harbor in the area. That means we'll have to shoot for the passenger liner's port of call.
Ahoy!
Was that?
Look at all those forgettable faces. Thumbs up wink. Okay, bro.
Those guys. Seems like every one of them's managed to find a new life goal to work toward.
What about you, Karja?
I'm the same. Since that talk with my mom, I've settled on a goal of my own. To scour the seas for a place where we Normans can build a new home. To take my turn carrying on the dream she and so many others stood for. That's nobody's choice but mine, of course. Sure, it'll mean rough waters ahead of me, but seeing Rollo, the life that old-timer led, it spurred me on.
I'm rooting for you.
Thanks. Adol? Decades from now, when I'm an old woman and you're an old man, no matter how much time goes by, we'll still be shield brother and shield sister. If you're in a fix, I'll rush to the rescue sure as the sun.
Well,
So, whenever it comes to mind, even if it's only once in a while, come pay me a visit, okay?
first of all, Adol is so in there. Second of all, I think Adol gets into a lot of trouble in several games that take place chronologically after this one. The end, I assume, or something similar. Or does that just say, like, the Nordics? Or why it says Wise 10 Nordics. Yeah, okay. There you have it. But yeah, I think Adol has been in many pinches after he met you and you didn't come running. I'm just saying. Alright, there you go. Wise 10 Nordics. Dude, that end of the game with Rollo actually, like, really boosted my opinion of the game at the very end, to be completely honest with you. Jeremy Lay and Bryce Pappenbrook. The ending, Rollo as a character was great. They did so much incredible stuff with Rollo that they just tied together at the very end. And his whole thing of just, like, you know, humans can forge the world. You can, like, you know, get out there and do anything if you put your mind to it kind of deal and whatnot was great. And his moments with Leela at the end where they got to fight together and how that meant so much to them. And then, like, Leela tearing up as he finally passed away. That was... That hit the feels, man. That was so good. That ending sequence against Rollo was fantastic. I hated the way his grab move worked. But other than that, like, great ending, great final boss fight, great stuff. That was really good. However, while that was very good and ends the game on a very nice note, I gotta say, this game has some problems. Honestly, I don't think that I liked it. I don't know. I might have liked it a little more than Wise 7. Wise 7 didn't exactly have, like, robust character arcs either, to be fair. But, like, only having the party comprised of just Karja and Adol and then, like, sidelining Dogi and not having any of the other characters, like, be actual participants in, like, the party throughout the game and all, I think really hurt the game in the long run for making the side characters interesting. And then on top of that, all of the side characters were boring. They didn't do anything with Dogi outside of the very start of the game, and all it was to reveal that, like, oh, they can turn humans into Griegrs, you have to save them, which was neat, but that's, like, the only thing Dogi had in this entire game. And then after that, he was just kind of, like, in the background the whole time. It was so lame that Dogi wasn't, like, a more central part of the game. And then, like, all the other characters, Gren, Rosa, what are the other names even? Mirabelle, Rafe, the blue-haired kid, I can't remember his name. They were all just boring. Like, I didn't like a single one of them. They were all just kind of there, and they all had, like, they just had, like, one specific moment in the game, usually, where they were like, Gren is really against his father, but he's gonna stand up against him. And then, like, alright, and that's all we have to talk about Gren. He'll just have a couple of conversations here and there. That's the only other thing he'll do. And Rosa and Philia are siblings and have this big sibling thing going on, and we resolved that immediately, so we're just gonna move on from that. Rafe hates his dad and tried to kill his dad, but we stopped him from doing that, and that's all of that. We're just gonna move on from that now. Like, they all just felt so one note, and the... Wait, is this about to be copywritten music? This sounds like it'd be copywritten. Hold up, hold up. Am I about to mute this? Is this lyrical music? I don't... Okay, it's not lyrical music. It's just a sick guitar. But, like, all the side characters just felt, like, pointless. Like, none of them caught my interest at all. I didn't like any of them. None of them had, like, cool stuff going on. The fact that they weren't actual combatants, like, part of the party, I think really hurt them in general. And it made it where the story basically revolved almost exclusively around Adol, Karja, and, the villains, really, and nothing else. But, you missed the conclusions to that by not finishing all the side quests. Bad game design, then. But also, I highly doubt that any last-minute side quests could have changed my opinions, that for 30 hours of the game, they were all boring and I didn't care about them. Even if they did have one final side quest that was like, oh, look, they did a thing. Do not care, and that is not an excuse. If you're, if you want me to do every single side quest involving a character, then you have to make the character interesting. None of the characters were interesting, so I didn't care to do any of their side quests. So I think they really dropped the ball on that. That really killed a lot of my, interest in the game, that I just didn't care about any character other than Karja, really. Karja is the only character, other than Rolo, who only gets interesting, like, Rolo only really exists at the very end. Karja is the only one that's, like, actually cool and has, like, build-up and story moments and was just a really neat character all around, so she was great. Everyone else frigging sucked. And then Rolo was awesome at the very end. And that includes Adol, by the way. Adol is a silent protagonist. He has literally nothing going on. He had one little one-note moment where he was, like, where he almost got killed by, the evil woman Griegr, whatever her name was, I don't even remember. He had one moment where he was, like, walking through the Dark Realm, and he was, like, all the people saying, like, oh, what a weirdo, that kid wanting to adventure. And, like, nothing even really came of that. Like, who cares, basically. But, yeah, so, game was really, really lacking character-wise. And as we all know, if you've watched this channel for long, one of the things I care most about in games, especially JRPGs, is the characters. And the fact that there's only, like, 2 good characters in this entire game, and one of them is Rolo, who only really shows up. Like, you meet the old man throughout the whole game, right? But you don't even know it's Rolo for most of it. It's only at the very end that Rolo becomes, like, incredible and really awesome at the very end. So, literally just Rolo and Karja, every other character in this game, you could just, like, get rid of them. I don't even care. Grimson seemed neat, but then Grimson's entire, like, motivation and character just became like, yeah, I, like, raised my daughter so that I could kill her by having her become some evil spirit that I wanted to kill, and I made it where my daughter would become that evil spirit so I could kill that spirit. Which is messed up, and they kind of just brush right by it. We figure out that he did that, and we fight him, and then his dead wife shows up and is like, naughty, naughty, Grimson, don't be mean to our daughter. And then it's like, well, I guess that's solved now, we'll just move on. It's so bad, it's so stupid. Just that, like, Grimson could have been such a neat character, and they basically just, like, tossed that aside to make him, like, terrible and annoying, in my eyes. But, yeah. The gameplay of the game was fun, though. It was really fun gameplay-wise. Wise 10 Nordics, the end, to be continued in Adol's next book. The gameplay was really fun. I didn't really like the release line all that much, as I've talked about. It seemed really neat, but I think in practice the release line was a little boring of a gaining system. But the mastery system, which I think they have in other Wise games, they at least have it in Wise 7, the mastery system was really good and fun. And the actual combat, the ship combat and the land combat were both very enjoyable. It was fun to play through the game. I'll save my completion data, why not? You have to make new save data for it, apparently. This is a really cool ending screen, by the way. Really nice looking ending screen. But, like, the actual gameplay was really fun, and that's what kept me going through the game. But as you can tell by the fact that I didn't take the time, because I knew it would take another stream, or maybe even 2 more streams, to do all the side quests at the end, I was like, the game's kind of outliving its welcome for me. I'm just gonna get it done so that I can move on to other games. Because, again, what I care about most when I'm playing a JRPG is the characters, then the story, then the gameplay, and then probably, like, the music after that. But, good music, by the way. The game had great music. Wise 7 also had incredible music, so good music for sure. But the characters were just a major letdown, all except Karja and Rollo, and then the story was neat. It was a neat story, but again, because I just didn't care about any of the characters, the thing is the story didn't have much going other than Karja being the descendant of Rollo and, like, the Griegr, like, trying to get her to kill them so they could, like, possess her, which was cool, but for a big chunk of the story, the first, like, 5 or 6 chapters out of 10, it was just, you were just kind of, like, going through the motions of, like, oh, just go around and beat up Griegr, and then, like, chapter 7 onward, I think is the Leela chapter, is where it's like, oh, you're the descendant of Rollo, and they're trying to possess you, and then it goes into the cool ending with Rollo at the very end and all that, which was awesome. That ending with Rollo really brought up my my enjoyment of the game at the very end. But at the end of the day, I just, like, I couldn't really see myself wanting to play this game again, to be honest. I might take the time, if I don't have to NG Plus at least, and, like, go through the entire game again. I might take the time to platinum it, because it seems like it wouldn't be a very difficult platinum, because I think I imagine that, like, one of the big things for platinuming is getting 100% discovery rate, and I think we were, like, over 70% discovery rate, so getting the discovery rate doesn't seem hard. I might platinum the game in my own time, but I couldn't really see myself wanting to play the game again, to be honest, like how I want to play a lot of my favorite Tales of games again, or how I'm, like, playing Kingdom Hearts again right now, so I don't know, I'd probably I want to give it, like, a 6 out of 10, but that ending with Rollo was really good and had a really good message with it, and, like, Rollo and Lila's, like, relationship at the end was really nice, so I'd give it, like, a 7 out of 10. It was a fun game. It was fun to play through. But definitely doesn't hit the heights of, like, a Tales of, or, like, a Xenoblade 1, or, like, Persona games, etc. It doesn't really get to that level of what I really, really enjoy out of JRPGs. And again, it mostly comes down to, I think the cast was incredibly weak. An insanely weak cast. Just, like, only, like, 2 characters even worth talking about in the long run. But, yeah, still glad I played it. It was a fun thing to go through, so, yeah. I hope you eventually play more Wise games. Maybe someday. It's definitely not going to be high on my priority list. Maybe sometime down the line. Maybe if they release, like, a Wise 11, maybe when they, like, release new ones, I'll get into them. Maybe I'll go back and play. I know 8 and 9 people were talking up a lot. I highly doubt I'd go back and play the really old ones, to be honest. At least not on the channel. Maybe I'd play them on my own time just to have the context for when I play some of the newer ones. I don't think I'd enjoy... Because, like... Take into account, like, the Tales of series, right? The Tales of series is my favorite franchise of games. I don't love every game in Tales of, like Vesperia and Zestiria, for instance, but I really don't like the really old Tales of games. Like, I played the first 2, Destiny and Fantasia, and they're just so old and dated that I don't enjoy them much. I doubt I would enjoy the very early Wise games for, like, similar reasons. So, maybe we'll play some of the newer ones down the line, like 8 and 9. Really, I don't think I'd go 6 or earlier, so, maybe 8 and 9 at some point. I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. It's definitely not going to be high on my priority list, especially because, like, peeling back the veil a little bit on, like, the actual logistics of it, this playthrough, and I don't think Wise 7 either, got a lot of traction or a lot of attention. People don't watch this as much as they watch me play, like, Kingdom Hearts or watch me play Tales of. Definitely not as much as when I play, like, Digimon or Pokemon or something. So, or Persona, for that matter. So, I'd probably like to play 8 and 9 at some point, but I really don't have any, I don't have any urgency to, basically. Maybe I will down the line. I'm not going to make any promises, but I could definitely see us doing 8 or 9 at some point. It just won't be anytime soon, to be sure. But yeah, I think that'll be it. I think I've said all that I wanted to say on it. Still a pretty good game overall. 7 out of 10, worth playing. You know, if it looked interesting to you, I'd recommend giving it a try. I wish it had been a little bit better on the cast and the story, but the cast especially. The story was all right, but the thing is especially when the story isn't super compelling, you really got to have the cast pick up the slack, and they just didn't in this game for me personally. But yeah, there you have it. Wise 10 Nordics done and in the books. There you go. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you want to catch future playthroughs, whether I end up doing Wise 8 and 9 or anything else on the channel, other JRPGs like Tales of and whatnot, I'd love to see you there. Or, you know, or nothing. You should watch my channel. I was going to say, I messed up my intro, or my outro. Be sure to check the links if you want to catch stuff live, or keep watching on the YouTube uploads. I appreciate your support either way, and I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. I'll catch you in the future for new ones. Until then, farewell.